So, have you ever been scrolling through the news and just felt like the world is groaning under the weight of it all? With all the natural disasters, the political chaos? Well, today, we're diving into a specific interpretation from our source material that connects all of these global crises directly to biblical end times prophecy. Let's get into it.
But before we go any further, it's really important to pause here. The source material itself provides a crucial disclaimer that kind of sets the stage for everything we're about to discuss. So let's look at that directly.
Okay, so right off the bat, you need to know this isn't about setting dates or creating some rigid doctrine. The source is very clear. The whole point of this isn't to scare you, but to talk about spiritual readiness. It's about endurance, not escape, because no one knows the exact timeline.
All right, so with that framework in mind, let's explore the core idea. It all starts with the state of the planet itself, arguing that what we're all seeing, well, it's not just random chaos.
Now, according to this viewpoint, verses like this one from Isaiah are seen as describing a massive global upheaval. And it's not just happening to us, it's a direct result of humanity's actions, a kind of spiritual rebellion. The idea is that the earth itself is reacting to a covenant that's been broken.
And to back this up, the source highlights a pretty staggering statistic. Natural disasters are apparently happening at a rate 5 times higher than they were just 50 years ago. This is presented as more than just an environmental crisis. It's seen as evidence of prophecy being fulfilled right now.
And this brings us to a really key concept for this whole interpretation: birth pangs. You might have heard the term. Drawing from passages like Matthew 24, these escalating crises, the famines, the earthquakes, they aren't viewed as random accidents. They're seen as intentional warnings, signs of something to come, almost like an alarm bell trying to wake us up.
Which of course leads to the big question, right? If these are all warning signs, what exactly are they warning us about? And this is where we move into the next phase of the interpretation.
The argument goes that this period of intense global turmoil, this chaos, actually creates the perfect environment for a very specific type of leader to emerge, someone powerful, charismatic, and incredibly deceptive.
Now, this figure, often called the Antichrist, isn't going to show up looking like some obvious villain. No way. The idea is he'll rise to power by presenting himself as the ultimate savior. He'll have what look like brilliant solutions for all our problems: climate change, economic collapse, war, but they'll all be completely godless solutions.
And this verse from Daniel, it just nails the strategy. It suggests his greatest weapon won't be force, but deception. He'll use the promise of peace and security as a tool to manipulate and control people who are just desperate for answers.
Okay, this all might sound a little abstract, so to make this concept more concrete, the source material draws on a powerful and, frankly, a really chilling historical parallel.
The argument here is that the Nazi regime serves as a kind of historical blueprint, a shadow of the global system of control prophesied in the Bible. It's viewed almost like a trial run for what's to come, but on a worldwide scale.
So, let's just break this down. You see the parallels the source is drawing. The Nazis forced loyalty through fear. The beast system will demand worship. The Nazis branded people for identification. The prophecy speaks of a mark. Both systems used economic control, controlling who could buy and sell, to exclude people, and both brutally persecuted anyone who refused to go along. It's seen as a repeating pattern.
And that, of course, brings us to the famous mark of the beast. The source is really clear here. This isn't necessarily about a specific microchip or some piece of tech. At its core, it's about a choice of allegiance. It's a definitive act of saying, I renounce my faith in God to worship this new system just so I can survive and be a part of society.
And this verse from Revelation really drives home just how total that control is. It's about complete economic and social lockdown. Your ability to participate in society, even to buy food for your family, becomes totally dependent on whether you've accepted this mark of allegiance.
So given this really stark prophecy, what's the recommended response? Well, the focus completely shifts now from what's happening out there to what needs to happen in here, a call for spiritual preparation.
The source lays out this clear path, and it's not about physical escape, hiding in a bunker. It's all about building an unshakable spiritual resolve, grounding your faith so it can't be shaken, being spiritually protected, truly understanding the sacrifices involved, and being ready to stand for your beliefs no matter what it costs.
This verse is held up as the central promise. But notice what it says. It's not a promise that you'll get to avoid the fire. It's a promise of divine protection through it. The whole message is one of endurance, not a get-out-of-jail-free card. This brings us to the end of this prophetic interpretation, and it all focuses on the ultimate outcome of this time of trial.
According to the source, victory isn't won by fighting back physically. It's achieved spiritually. It comes through an unwavering faith, through boldly sharing your testimony, and through a willingness to surrender everything, even your own life, rather than compromise your core beliefs.
And that leaves us with this final, really thought-provoking question. The entire interpretation kind of boils down to this one test of loyalty. It suggests that when the pressure is on, when global systems demand your total allegiance, that's the moment when the true nature of what you believe is finally revealed.